The legislative arm of government has its functions. It has the function of formulating laws as well as screening those that are going to handle some of the executive functions. What more do we need to know about the legislative arm of government? What powers do they have as an arm of government? Welcome to You and the Law on Niger State Television. My name is Dagaci Mohammed. On today's edition of the program, we are going to be looking at the legislature. And our guest in the studio today is Barrister Dagaci Mohammed. Barrister, you're welcome to our program.
Thank you very much, Ms. TV, Mrs. Hadiza. Thank you for having me this morning.
All right, sir. Is there anything that we've not really said about you, like a way of introducing yourself maybe to our viewers?
Well, my name is Dagaci Mohammed. I am a legal practitioner here in
All right. You're welcome to You and the Law.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes. By way of introduction, what can you tell our viewers about the legislative arm of government?
Well, you see, we in Nigeria, the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is there today, that is serving as a guide to all of us. And this same Constitution provides for the organs, if you like, the branches or the three arms of government. And namely, you have the executive, you have the legislature, and you have the judiciary. And this Constitution that provides for these organs further provides the powers and the extent to which these powers can be wielded by these arms of government. If you look at the executive, under the Constitution, the executive arm of government is charged with the responsibility of enforcing laws. The legislature is charged with the responsibility of enacting or making laws, while the judiciary has the responsibility of interpreting these laws. You see, in furtherance to these powers that is conferred on these arms of government, it goes further to provide for the principles of separation of powers. Under the principle of separation of powers, each and every arm of this government is expected to be independent of the other. The executive is there, the judiciary is there, the legislature is there. But the law has actually envisaged, or the drafters of the Constitution have envisaged a situation whereby sometimes, or maybe, these powers may eventually or sometimes overlap. So it provides for what you call checks and balances. For instance, under the principles of separation of powers and checks and balances, the National Assembly can make laws, but not minding the fact that they have the powers to make laws, the Constitution further gives the President the power to veto these laws. Again, as a matter of checks and balances, the National Assembly, the President's veto power may not be absolute, because this same Constitution that gives the President the right to veto laws enacted by the National Assembly further gives the National Assembly a latitude of overriding this veto power of the President, either by two-thirds majority or as the case may be. The National Assembly has the power to make laws, but the judiciary can declare these laws to be unconstitutional. So we now understand the powers and the extent to which every of these arm of government is supposed to wield its powers, because this power is constitutionally given, but there are limits set to these powers.
Thank you very much for that introduction. Well, viewers, just like we do say on You and the Law, that we allow you to know your rights, responsibilities, duties, as well as issues of course, sometimes that concerns their security. And from the introduction of my guest today, you have heard that the three arms of government are interrelated, but each has its powers, though there are limitations to these powers. And of course, if you remember that as individuals or as Nigerians, we have rights and responsibilities. And of course, to each right, there is a limitation. Thank you very much. Barrister Dagaci, I also want you to tell our viewers now the powers that are vested on the legislative arm of government, that are exclusively their powers, as an arm of government.
Well, the exclusive powers of the legislature is enacting laws. And enacting laws and under the principles of separation of powers again, and checks and balances, they are supposed to serve as a check on the executive, not to wield so much powers by the executive. There are limitations. They are there to check the executive so that the executives do not actually cross these limits. But essentially, their responsibility is lawmaking.
All right, that brings to mind what is happening or what just happened recently in United States. We've seen a situation where the chairman of the State Independent Electoral Commission is being said to be sent out of office by the State House of Assembly. What do you see about this?
Well, you see, still on the Constitution, under Chapter 5, Part 2B of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, as amended, under Section 197, the Constitution provides that there shall be established for each state some executive bodies. These executive bodies are the State Civil Service Commission, you have the State Independent Electoral Commission, and you have the State Judicial Service Commission. These three commissions are what the Constitution refers to as the state bodies, executive state bodies, not legislative state bodies, executive state bodies. Now, if you go further, this Constitution that calls or that provides for the establishment of these commissions or these bodies further provides for their composition, i.e., members, appointment of the members and the chairman of these commissions, provides for the powers of this commission, the extent to which they are to wield these powers, and the procedures to be adopted in conducting the affairs of this commission. It further provides for the tenure of their office. If you go further to Section 198 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, it provides for the appointment of the chairman and other members of this commission. That is the State Independent Electoral Commission. And there is no ambiguity in that. The Constitution is clear, the wordings are clear, that the appointment shall be by the governor, subject to confirmation by a resolution of the State House of Assembly. So in the instant case, the governor of Niger State makes the appointment, then subject to confirmation by the Niger State House of Assembly by a way of resolution. Now, it is, I don't think there should be contention with respect to the appointment. Now, we've listened to opinions, and in all of those opinions, nobody is coming out outrightly to say that the governor lacks the power of removal. Nobody is saying it is an exclusive right of the House of Assembly to remove the chairman of the Niger State Independent Electoral Commission. If you go to section 201 of the Constitution, permit me to read out the section in verbatim. You see section 201 provides for the removal of members, that is, and the chairman. Any person holding any of the offices to which this section applies shall only be removed from that office by the governor of the state, acting on an address supported by 2/3 majority of the House of Assembly of the state, praying that he be so removed for inability to discharge the functions of the office, whether arising from infirmity of mind or body or any other cause, or from his conduct. So, you see, there is no confusion here. If the House of Assembly have passed a resolution by a way of address and are recommending for the removal of the chairman, the next inevitable question is there anything under this section that suggests that the governor is under an obligation to comply with the address of the State House of Assembly? Of course not. There is nothing that compels the governor to comply with this address. Theirs is a resolution. We are recommending you to remove him. Wouldn't it be an abnormality for the same constitution that gives power to the governor to appoint to now give power of removal onto another person or another body? No. The issue of appointment is not in contention. Why should the issue of removal be in contention? Recommend to the governor, no problem. Then let him act on it. What if he fails to act on it? He's not under obligation to act on it. I'll give you an instance. The erstwhile chairman of Independent Electoral Commission, Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC. Yes. Mr. Ibrahim Magunya retired. We knew what happened in this country when the president forwarded his name for nomination as the chairman of Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. Yes. And was actually looking forward to the confirmation by the National Assembly, by the Senate. But that confirmation didn't come. They kept rejecting the name. Because as far as they are concerned, there is a DSS report that indicted Mr. Ibrahim Magu. But he remained in office in acting capacity. So theirs is, we have rejected the name, okay, no problem, go and continue in an acting capacity. Up till the time the presidency or the federal government deemed it necessary or fit for him not to continue with the office. Then he was suspended. But the president didn't act immediately by removing him simply because his name was rejected. He was in office discharging the functions of the chairman of Economic and Financial Commission in acting capacity, not as a substantive chairman. So the right of removal, as far as this section is concerned, exclusively lies with the governor and not the Niger State House of Assembly.
Thank you very much for your submission on this. Viewers, if you just joined us, this is You and the Law on Niger State Television. And today we are talking about the powers of the legislature in relation to the removal, of course, of the state chairman, Independent National Electoral Commission. And my guest on the program today is Barrister Dagaci Mohammed. We are going on a short break, after which the program continues. Do stay. You and the Law. It's a program designed by Niger State Television to talk to you, our esteemed viewer, about your rights, responsibilities, duties, as well as issues that concerns your security. Watch You and the Law every Monday, as we always urge you to stay out of trouble and be law-abiding. My name is Hadiza Mohammed. Welcome back. It's still You and the Law, and we are going to continue our conversation with our guest, on the program today. Well seated, Mr. Barrister. Now, let's continue with our discussion. From what you have said before we went for that short break, it is clear that what the State House of Assembly has done is their opinion, and it's like a suggestion, which the only person that has the exclusive power to remove the chairman, according to your submission, is the state government. What more is it that you want us to know about this particular case?
Well, you see, the provisions of the law, you see, I have to make you and the viewers understand one thing, that the law places so much premium on due process. The Constitution is there to guide us. That is why it provides for the powers of the Commission. It provides for how the chairman and the members of these commissions are going to be appointed, and the qualification they need to be appointed, and how they are supposed to be removed. Now, under the removal, they are saying that the Constitution is saying the chairman can be removed where he is suffering from infirmity of the mind or body, or as the case may be, or from misconduct. Well, I am not interested in the political angle that might take. The law remains the law.
Yes, we are not talking politics.
The law remains the law.
About the law.
So if they are seeking to remove him because he is mentally not fine or mentally unstable, just as the Constitution has provided, that would have been a different matter.
Okay.
Or for misconduct. If they are saying, oh, there are quarters that are alleging, because I heard opinions that the demand before a committee of the Niger State House of Assembly made submissions that he is loyal to his boss, who is the governor. Does that falls within the purview of these conditions of removal provided for by the Constitution? Does that falls under misconduct? Does that disqualifies him from discharging the functions of the office of the chairman of INSEC? These are questions that will have to be answered first. Okay, a member or even the chairman cannot be qualified to be appointed as the chairman or any member where he is a member of a political party. The law acts on evidence. Is there an evidence that he is a card-carrying member of a political party? Is this before us? These are not the issues. These are not the issues. So let's be guided by the Constitution. And as far as I am concerned, as far as the wordings of the Constitutions are concerned, there is no ambiguity. It is clear. Removing or seeking to remove outrightly the chairman of INSEC by the State House of Assembly is a constitutional infraction, because that is exclusively within the right of the governor of the state.
Okay. Maybe that is what gave the chairman this thing to tell the State House of Assembly at the plenary that he is only answerable to his boss, who is the governor of the state. Viewers, you also agree with me that the legislative arm of government surely has powers, but what our guest is saying is it must be within the purview of the Constitution.
The powers given to them.
The powers given to them. And now, from what we heard some time ago, the state is supposed to conduct elections into the local government executive arm of government. And the chairman has this challenge now of being suggested to be removed from office by the state legislative arm. What do we make of these two issues now that are happening almost at the same time?
You see, if the I won't say the conflict, the misunderstanding between the chairman, maybe the executive arm is involved, and the State House of Assembly persists, I think the best thing the legal officers can do is to advise any of the parties, maybe the State House of Assembly or the executive arm, to approach the court for interpretation.
Okay, but we have not gotten to that stage.
Fine. On whether or not the House of Assembly has powers to remove the chairman or not.
Okay. So as it is now, what is the position of the chairman? Is he to remain in office, just like you gave example of EFCC?
The chairman is still the chairman of INSEC.
Okay.
Yes, because there has not been any directive from the executive for his removal. We've not heard anything like that, except if it is happening now that I am here.
Okay.
What we are saying in simplicity is the State House of Assembly lacks the power to remove the INSEC chairman.
Okay.
It's as simple as ABC.
Okay. And from as a lawyer, from your angle, maybe I don't know if you've seen any domestication of an opposition opinion to what is in the Nigerian Constitution, maybe within the state.
The Niger State Electoral Commission law is here, 2000, and there are some amendments. But the amendment does not actually affect the appointment and the removal of the chairman of INSEC or appointment of other members. But I am telling you that I have gone through it, and the wordings of the constitutions are reproduced verbatim in the law. So the procedures for appointment and removal is of the Niger State electoral law. It's not different from what you have from the constitution. And even where different, the constitution has serially dealt with this issue. And we cannot be talking about the constitution and we are making recourse to Niger State law. The constitution is the ground.
It supersedes
this.
Yes.
So this won't stand in this instant case.
Okay.
Yes.
Before we draw the curtains on today's edition of the program, what would you like to tell our viewers on your opinion about what is happening with the state chairman of the State Independent Electoral Commission, and of course the powers of the legislative arm?
Well, what I would like to tell all parties to this is, let me re-emphasize that the law places so much premium, so much concern for due process. And that is why we have laws that are guiding us in this country, so that everything we do will be organized and not in disarray. So let us shun any personal interest. The wordings of the constitution are there. Let us follow it, or let it be followed stricto sensu. I believe we all know what is right.
And finally, before we draw the curtains on today's edition of You and the Law, let's get our guest view on people's exercising their rights, responsibilities, and of course, being law-abiding.
The Constitution under Chapter 4 of the Nigerian 99 Constitution provides for the fundamental human rights, and it starts from Chapter 33 to 43, 44. And they are inalienable rights that cannot be taken away by anybody. But just as we've discussed earlier, even this constitution that is giving you these powers or these rights that nobody can take away, they are aware the constitution itself draws the curtain again, provides for limits again. So let's try to be law-abiding Nigerians. If there are laws in the states, let it be followed stricto sensu, and that will give us a peaceful coexistence with one another.
Thank you very much for sparing part of your busy schedule to be in our studio today.
Thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, thank you.
It's good to be here.
Yeah, thank you very much. Viewers, this is where the curtains falls on today's edition of You and the Law. I hope you are better informed and enlightened about certain issues that concerns the legislative arm of government, as well as the issue of the removal of the state chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission. Until we come your way again next week with a fresh package of the program, I am Dagaci Mohammed, urging you to stay out of trouble and be law-abiding. Bye for now.
You and the Law is a program that talks to you, our esteemed viewers, about your rights, responsibilities, duties, as well as issues that concerns your security. Watch You and the Law live on Mondays on NSTV channel UHF 25. It promises to be informative and educative. Be part of the program as we always urge you to stay out of trouble and be law-abiding. Don't be told. Join us.